Welcome everyone to Enlightened World Network. I'm Sue Sekoff, and I'm happy to be here today with the beautiful Holly Erin Copeland. She will be presenting a beautiful sound healing. It's called, oh, I don't have the title. Okay, well, she'll tell you more about it. And we're delighted to have Holly here with us at EWN on a meditation a day. So thank you, Holly, for joining us.
Thank you, Sue, for having me. I love coming on in EWN, so I'm grateful to be here.
Yeah, so tell us about the healing we're doing today, the transmission.
Well, so overall, I work with this way of inner rewilding that I have a book coming out soon called Inner Rewilding. And one of the core principles in that is attune to the living universe. And what that means for me is actually attuning our inner instrument into the frequencies and the rhythms that are happening in the earth. And so we start to come into physiological coherence
Mhm.
with the incredible earth around us.
Yeah.
And so and then actually drop us from there into a surrender, into a silence, into who and what we are. But we use sound and frequency in order to help facilitate that. And I'm flying away to Florida tomorrow, and I'm giving a presentation and leading a sound bath on this very topic. And so it's just really in my consciousness right now, um, the way that we can use frequency. And I'll use some magic, as you said when we were testing, right? Some magical tools. And I guess I just want to spend a moment before we go into the meditation to just describe to people, like if I may,
Yeah.
so some of the things that I'm going to share in my presentation in Florida is that our inner bodies are, as Da Vinci shared in his Vitruvian Man, we have ratios within our whole body that are mirrored in nature and in music and in sound. So, for example, our forearm to our upper arm, this is all over the body, but I'll give you an example, is a 3:2 ratio. And that 3:2 ratio in our body is the same ratio as C and G
Yeah.
in music. And because of the principles of entrainment, because when we come into resonance with something, like if you pluck a G string on one instrument and there's a G on the other, it will start to vibrate when they're close together, right? That's the principle of entrainment. One comes into resonance with the other. So
Mhm.
when you listen to I'm gonna to use some tools in the meditation today. When we listen to something like a C and G together, it brings dissonance into order. It brings us out of chaos into harmony physiologically. So if many people are feeling in a chaotic state and a chaos in the world.
Mhm.
And so I really want to share that these tools powerfully physiologically will help bring your body into a state of coherence and order and harmony.
Sounds great.
Yeah, that's the miracle of sound and frequency and the effect that it can have on our bodies.
Well, thank you for sharing the science of it. It's so
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah, right. And if sometimes to just know and understand that helps our little mind that questions, is this doing anything? To relax a little bit and allow your whole body to receive the frequencies and the vibrations.
And it sounds like an easy way to relax, which we all would enjoy.
Exactly.
Ease.
Exactly. You can just let go and just let your body do what it knows to do naturally, which is to come into harmony
Mhm.
with with these frequencies. Nature all around us is also vibrating in these frequencies, which is why it feels so good to take a walk in nature, because your body starts to, from those same principles, entrain with the frequencies of nature.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So please start whenever you're ready.
Okay. Well, well, hello, everybody. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get cozy and comfortable. And for you, this could be sitting upright in a just a comfortable seat with your feet touching the floor, resting on the floor or underneath you. Or if you prefer to lay down, that's fine. But sitting upright can help you not fall asleep. But do what feels good to you. and what feels comfortable to you. So let's begin by just taking some long, slow breaths into the belly. And you might put one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, just to really anchor yourself back into the body. Feeling the sweet animal of your being underneath your hands. Keep that breath going as I bring some sound into the space for you. You can relax your hands now gently in your lap. And just keep those slow breaths going. Really letting yourself focus on the sensation you're experiencing. Nothing you need to do. Nowhere else you need to be. Letting your whole body dissolve into the space and into the sound. Waves of sound moving through your body. Shifting dissonance into harmony. No inside or outside. dissolving the barrier between the sound and the skin and the body. Just waves of harmony. Moving through space. What's it like to be aware as space? As Radiant Sutra 17 says, listen to the subtle, ever-changing tones. Layer upon layer. Dissolve, discover what gradualness is. The power of sound will lead you into the power of silence. leading us into the center of the center of the center. Into the 0 point. Beyond sound, beyond time. To the very heart of all that is. Your heart. To that moment before your heart started beating. Before the pulse of life began. Just this. You are that. I am that I am. Taking some slow breaths now. On the inhale, I am that. And on the exhale, silently, softly say to yourself, I am. Coming back into the blueprint of you as universal source consciousness. I am that I am. Resting in your heart, how could it be any other way? Like a mantra, informing every cell, every tissue of your greatness, of your divinity, of your exquisite place in the cosmos. Not transcending your humanity, but claiming it. I am here, present, alive. God made manifest in you. Stepping out of the fog of the mind and the truth that lives within your heart. That you know to be true, and not denying it for a second longer. I am that I am. And letting that put a smile on your face. And letting that smile infuse every cell, touching every part of you that maybe needs reminding. Of your beauty, of your worthiness, of your greatness, of your belonging. And before you open your eyes, I invite you to wrap your arms around your body. Give yourself a hug. Feel your beautiful body underneath your fingers. Your sweet heart. Your care, your concern for all beings, and the well-being of family and friends, loved ones, those you know and those you don't know. And when you're ready, gently, softly open your eyes. Mm.
Thank you so much, Holly.
You're so welcome.
It was such a lovely, deep meditation, so peaceful.
Mm.
So the 0 point is inside the center of the center, huh?
It sure is the center of the center of the center. I mean, I saw it like there's, of course, no, I could keep saying in the center, in the center, in the center. We'd be here for infinity. Right. Yeah, you can only point to it. You can't actually find it, of course. We can just point in there. Yeah.
When we speak about in training and how
Mhm.
music or the vibration entrains us, would you like to share a little about that?
Sure. Yeah. So, um, this is a law. There's a law called the law of entrainment. So this is a physical law, and it just means that because we live in a vibratory universe, this is one of the principles of this vibratory universe, this law of entrainment, that things will tend to move into synchrony with each other. And there's some beautiful experiments you can see on YouTube if you Google entrainment metronomes, and you see metronomes all of different in different patterns, and that if you keep them going long enough, they'll all synchronize perfectly.
Oh,
It's that. And so that your body works the same way, like a metronome. If we come into, if two couples start to sleep together, their heart rates will come synchronize. That's entrainment.
mhm.
And what's so beautiful about that is, from the purposes and the perspective of sound healing, if we bring a tone like this wand into, and you start to listen to it, your body will naturally come into that. So into those frequencies. And because those are harmonics that naturally bring order. In fact, I said this in my talk, Lao Tzu, the famous Chinese philosopher, said that the perfect fifth, that CG harmony, is what's underneath yin and yang. It's like the order of the universe,
Oh,
right? So we can use these principles, that principle of entrainment, and we don't need to know it cognitively, but what we do need to know is that if we listen to music or expose ourselves to those frequencies, it will help bring our nervous system back into order. That's what's important. So when people are feeling panicked or anxious or stressed, you can use the principle of this to, whether you work with tuning forks and you can get a C and G set of tuning forks, or you can listen to music that has that embedded within it. And in fact, there are certain like Verdi operas that have frequencies that, bring this.
wonderful.
So yeah, lots of different ways to use that to support people out of stress and anxiety and back into order and harmony.
That's such a good resource, such a good tool to remind us of, all the things we can do as a daily practice or, when we have time,
Mm-hmm.
just to feed that in. Listening to music, wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's like, the universe has all these tools to help us be in rhythm and in order and harmony, that if we open ourselves to that, it wants to support, it's basically singing us back into harmony all the time. That's the truth,
Yeah, that's what it feels like in nature. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Nature is singing you back into harmony. So go out, take a walk outside in nature, listen to some relaxing music with these kinds of tones in it and let it support you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Would you like to share something about your current work and what you're up to?
Sure. I have a book coming out soon. It'll be coming out in mid-December called Inner Rewilding. And supports, it both tells my story of how I got here and then also is like a guidebook, a modern spiritual guidebook that gives some really key principles that I learned that helped me on this path so much. And you can find that at inner-rewilding.com,
Okay.
inner-rewilding.com. And you can order the book soon and then dive into the practices.
Yeah, so this sounds like an original work of yours. Is inner rewilding something that you created?
It actually is. Well, it created me.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Yeah. So it came through me, I guess some people would call it channeled. I opened myself up to it and this dropped in one day and the whole architecture of it. And it was a way for me to articulate all of the different pieces
Yeah.
that were instrumental in the shift, that awakening, whatever you want to call it, that I experienced. Yeah.
Yeah. So as I've gotten to know you, you work beautifully with sound and with meditation. And, this is a really unique and special offering that you've created. So I'd be curious to hear more. Thank you.
Yeah, you're sure welcome. Yeah, I'm very, very excited to share it. And there'll actually be soon, they'll have a course that goes with it. So if you want to read the book and follow along with the course, you'll be able to do that as well. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's pretty special. So thank you. Okay.
You're welcome.
Well, we'll look out for the book. I'll put the link in the video below.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Holly.
Mhm.